All right, people. So, on today's live, we're going to talk about how you're going to lose fat easily. Okay, but just because I say easily doesn't mean it's going to be fast or it's not going to require any work on your end. You're going to need a few things. Okay, I'm going to prepare my meal right now, but two things. You're going to need this. You're going to need a food scale. Second, you're going to need accountability. Okay, accountability means tracking your macros. The way that I track them, I use an app on my phone. I use Carbon, and I like that one because I've been using it for years, and I just have like a ton of information right there of foods that I eat on a regular basis just saved. So it's really easy for me to just click on the food, put the amount, and I'm set. But there's plenty of apps that you can use. You can use MyFitnessPal, you can use Fat Secret, you can use Cal AI. I mean, whatever you think is gonna work best for you, just use that app. Okay, so first, you need to know what you're putting in your body. Okay, you're not gonna lose fat unless you're eating right under the calories that you're expending, which means a calorie deficit. Yes, I know you probably hear it a lot, but it's the truth, okay? In order for you to lose fat, you need to consume less calories than you burn. So, by you burning more calories and eating less food, you're eventually going to lose fat. Now, the way that you're going to do it easily is by eating similar foods, all right? I always share in my stories that I eat this same exact meal that I'm about to prepare every single day. I've been eating this meal for about 4 or 5 years now. And it's so simple, so easily, and so effective that I continue to do it. And I encourage you to find the foods that work best for you. Stick to those so that when you're already used to like weighing your food, tracking your macros, when you do come across sometimes that you actually go out and about and you eat something, it's not that hard to keep accountable. It's not that hard to keep track of the foods that you're eating. Like for example, me, when I eat something outside of my diet, I literally just squeeze it in. I cut back, like let's say I'm gonna do 300 grams of rice right now. And if I eat a sandwich, okay, so let's pretend I had one meal earlier and I ate a sandwich. I track those calories, and if the carbs are a lot higher than what my typical meal is, I just adjust those amounts. I cut back from the day. Think about it like if it's a budget, okay? You are literally having a budget. Your calories are your budget. Let's say you have 2,000 calories. Well, I'm gonna split those into 4 meals. Now, let's say for meal 1, I ate a little bit over that limit for my first meal. So the next meal I cut back, or on the third meal I cut back, and I keep all the other ones the same. So that's the beauty, that's the trick, that's the easy part from eating all regular foods or the similar foods, that you don't have to overthink things, that you literally just keep yourself accountable by keeping things simple. So the way that I do it, okay, right now I'm at 2,800 calories every single day. Okay, I have about 160, 170 grams of protein every single day, about 400 grams of carbs, and about 60, 65 grams of fat. Now, the way that I distribute my calories is in 4 meals. I do 1 shake post-workout. I do 1 whole meal, which is going to be this one. I already drank a shake and a banana. I didn't drink the banana, but I ate a banana. But this is going to be my first whole meal. Next, I'm going to have another one like around 4, 5, depending on what time we get home from picking up Liam. And then I get my last meal like at about 8:39, the latest. But here's the thing. You need to calculate your macros. How do you do this? As simple as going online, type in macro diet calculator. You can use tdecalculator.net. You can use if it fits your macros, like whatever calorie tracker that pops up, use that one. It's going to be a good reference, a good starting point. Now, I don't suggest going entirely on the information that they're providing there, because a lot of the calculators tend to just lowball your calories. I always adjust a little bit higher depending on how my body is reacting, how a client's body is reacting. So you need to be aware that just because you put your information in, it's not a set number. You need to monitor yourself. Let's say you're eating 2,000 calories and you drop weight like fast. I mean, the faster you lose it, the faster you're probably gonna gain it back, okay? You need to do it through a sustainable approach. Now, what I suggest you do is as soon as you get those macros, calculate your macros, make sure that you're eating enough protein. The protein you're gonna wanna shoot for is at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. Or if you're relatively on the higher or heavier side, you wanna do 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal weight. Let's say you weigh 250 pounds, but you're trying to go down to 180. So do 180. Now, once you establish your macros, put them in your calculator, not your calculator, but your app that you're choosing, whether that's MyFitnessPal, whatever you want to use. Put those in, type those in, and as you're eating your foods throughout the day, plug them in. Okay, keep yourself accountable. Put them in that app. Make sure that you're tracking everything so that at the end of the day, you see where you're at. You see exactly what you're putting in your body. Because if you don't know what you're putting in your body, it's going to be a recipe for failure. You need to be tracking everything. Once you get used to measuring your foods and stuff like that, it becomes a little bit easier just to kind of like, I don't want to say eyeball it because you don't want to just eyeball anything. It's going to be just a lot more simpler to identify like portions and amounts, and it comes with practice, okay? It comes with practice, and I can't stress it enough how you can't you can't run without first learning how to crawl. And you crawl by taking a step, falling, taking a step, falling. Once you learn how to stand by yourself, it's like, okay, now I can walk. But you had to crawl up, down, had to crawl, stand up, fall down in order to be able to walk. And then in order for you to be able to run, you have to learn how to walk first. So please, I can't stress it enough. Take things one step at a time. Start off with this. Eating the similar foods. Don't change anything unless you're getting sick and fed up with it. Keep everything simple. Keep everything efficient. Keep everything the same for as long as you can. I literally had a client not long ago who was working with me for 3 months on the same fucking meal plan. The same meal plan, I swear. All we did was adjust and tweak his amounts. We cut back on carbs, we cut back on fats, we upped the protein, like things like that. But like literally one simple meal plan for the entire duration of those 3 months. He never got tired of it. It was simple, it was easy, it was quick. It worked, okay? So that's the beauty of this strategy, that you just keep things simple and you don't have to overcomplicate things. You don't have to get headaches. You don't have to be overthinking about what you're going to do next. It's like everything is just right there. Like it's as easy as this, okay? And as long as you keep yourself accountable over time, you're going to get the results. As soon as you see the changes happening, all you got to do is stay focused, right? Stay focused. Do not change what's already working. If eating the same foods and you can eat them without no problem is working, stick to that. Stick to that. Do not change anything just because somebody's telling you that you should be doing this or that you should switch those things for this. And just don't listen to anything outside of what's already working and stick to your plan. Stick to the game plan that is bringing you the results, because once you start messing with a whole bunch of shit, that's when things start to get hard. So I'm going to show you how I do things, okay? Now, like I said, you're going to need your food scale. I'm actually shooting this live with my phone, so I can't show you physically what it looks like when I type it in, but I'll explain it as I go. So I already have my portions measured out, like I said. I eat the same food, so that's the beauty of this. It's like the next day, I just weigh the same things over and over and over again. Unless I have something outside of my diet, then okay, I say, all right, I cut back on these carbs because I ate too many carbs on my last meal. So it becomes more complicated. So I'm not going to talk about that because I'm not trying to confuse you. So let's just stick to this plan as if I'm eating everything the same, which I do 99% of the time. So I already know my portions. I already know my amounts. I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so first things first, you got to use your scale. I got my Tupper. Tear it off. I always do 100 grams of pineapple with this meal because pineapple is awesome. And it gets a ton of flavor. So my scale is teared out. Okay, so I'm just going to go for 100 grams. 84. 95, get a little chunk right here. 102. Oh, another quick thing. don't stress the small things. Okay, don't stress the little shit. Okay, unless you're like a competitive bodybuilder who's getting ready for a show, the simple things, the little things are not gonna make that big of a difference. Right here, I have 102 grams of pineapple. I was shooting for 100 grams. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my shit because it's 2 grams. Like, no, literally, what is 2 grams gonna do? Okay, don't stress the small shit. Okay, next, I already have my rice, which I pre-make it. Okay, I have this little rice cooker. Everything is already pre-cooked. Like I said, it doesn't get more simple than this. So I had the rice already cooked since yesterday. Now, it's at 102 grams. I have to tear it out. Oh, that thing jumped. Okay, so it's out. And I just grab little by little. So it's not that hard to break once I heat it up. Because it's like I said, it's overnight. If it was fresh, I mean, it would just be so fucking good and just kind of like crumbling. Not that it doesn't taste good right now, it's just texture-wise. Okay, so I'm at 130 right now. I'm shooting for 300. Why so much? Because I'm a fit guy with a fat boy soul that eats a lot. Which, fun fact, I've known, or I've, worked with people who have been relatively bigger than me. Like, I want to say at least 3/4 bigger than me. Oh, too much. I'm 145 pounds and they'd be like 230, 250. And I can eat more than them. I can eat more than them because my metabolism has just gotten to the point where, I mean, I've been dieting, I've been working out for over a decade. And I've gotten my body to the point where literally I'm eating 2,800 calories just to maintain at 145. It's fucking crazy, man. Because before, I was, like back in 2018, I want to say 2018, I was struggling so bad to even eat like 2,400 calories. I think that's what coach had me doing. And I was force feeding myself. Like, it was a bad time. I was force feeding myself, and it's just so crazy to think that I've gotten my body to this point throughout the years, throughout consistency, throughout hard work, that looking back, old me was struggling to eat 2,400 calories, 2,300 calories. And now, if you saw my story yesterday, I mean, 2,800 calories later, I was still hungry. And I'm not force feeding myself at all. Like, there's days where I'm just like, cool, it's enough. There's other days where I'm just like, oh my God, no more food. But I'm not force feeding myself. And yesterday, I was still hungry. But anyway, okay, so got the pineapple, put it in the app, pineapple chunks, literally, like, I don't know if I can see. So literally, like, this is what I got in this Tupperware, and it's just the canned pineapple. You don't need anything fancy. So I use canned pineapple. I throw the pineapple in the Tupperware. I leave it in the fridge after I open it. So 100 grams of pineapple, put it in. 300 grams of rice, look up, white rice, 300 grams. It calculates everything for you. Calories, carbs, everything. So next, we're gonna do 5 ounces of 91. Is it 91? Yeah, it's 91.9 ground beef from Costco. I was thinking that I got the one from Walmart, the 96 for some reason. But okay, so next thing, you literally put on there 91.9 ground beef Costco, and it'll appear. So this one has bell peppers and onion that I cook with it, or that I mix in when I cook it. So if I'm going for 5, I'm just gonna put slightly over 5 so that it just kind of factors out the veggies, because you can see them right there. So I'm gonna go for about 5.3 just to factor out the veggies. Again, 5 ounces. I just need 5 ounces, which I was on grams, but I did tear it out. I'm at 3.4, which your scale actually has different options. So it has pounds, it has fluid ounces, it has ounces, it has grams. So make sure that you're on the right one. I was on grams right there, but I did tear it out. So I was able to just switch the amounts, or the units, sorry. And I'm at 3.4 right now. 4.6. Like I said, I'm gonna go for 5.3 just because of the, oh, too much. just because of the veggies. Okay, so that's literally what it looks like right there. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this in the microwave. Be right back. Okay, so I warm it up for about 2 minutes. I just like it when everything's like really hot. It just makes the pineapple, since the pineapple has been in the fridge for so long, it just makes the pineapple just kind of get that heat in it. For me, it tastes a lot better when it's just overheated. And then I just wait a little bit for it to cool down. But literally, like I said, see, it's as easy as that. I'm taking a lot longer right now because I'm explaining it as I go. But literally, just put that away. Everything's done. You know, I'm just gonna add salt to that meal. I'm gonna add mustard and sriracha, which perfect combination, by the way. And I'm gonna show you this right here. I add an apple. Okay, I do fruit basically with all my whole meals. I do pineapple, a little bit of pineapple in that tupper with an apple on the side. Then on my next meal, which I have to go buy tuna. If you haven't seen, Fred Meyer has been my plug for the tuna. It's like $1 per bag, and each bag has about 17 grams of protein. So if you're a member at Fred Meyer, I suggest you go get yourself hooked up with some tuna from there. But I don't like munching on the apple just as a whole, so I always take off the middle part, just leaving four slices, literally just like that. If you can see it. And then this just goes straight in the trash. But yeah, so I'm gonna have that meal. And again, if you have that app, whatever one you choose, it's a large apple, Cosmic apple. Just go ahead, plug that in. This is about 110 calories. How do I know that? Because I already eat this every single fucking day. Okay, so like I said, once you become familiarized with everything that you're eating, it just becomes second nature. Hold up. And I mean, you can't go wrong. Like I said, this is how you're gonna lose fat so easily. Step 1, calculate your macros. Go to the site that I told you. If you missed this live from right now, you're barely tuning in, go back and rewatch it so that you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so download that app. Not the app, sorry. Calculate your macros, download the app, plug in your macros, and make sure that what you're eating, you're plugging them in the app. And then keep yourself accountable, literally. You're gonna be eating in a calorie deficit, you're gonna be working out, you're gonna be burning more calories than you consume. Trust me, with time and consistency, you will lose fat. But if even after you do all this and you're still not seeing results, it's simply because you're not holding yourself accountable enough and you're really not trying that hard. All right, you're basically just thinking that you are, but there's no cheating this, okay? There's no way you cannot see results by staying accountable, by staying consistent. So I do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt on every meal. So I just put that. I never cook with salt. I just add it afterwards. So that's what I do. I use pink Himalayan salt. Then I'm almost out of mustard. Oh, damn, got too excited right there. Just drizzle some right there. You gotta be really careful with these things too, just to add on to that. So like right there, you can see it's probably backwards, but 0 calories. But that's only for 5 grams, which I use about 10. The other day I was like, okay, I'm curious, let me kind of like check how much I use. So 10 to 15 is what I typically put on, just, eyeballing it. But 0 calories for 5 grams, which means that companies have the right to claim that if they're under, like, let's say 10 calories per serving, they're allowed to lie to you and say that there's 0 calories, which in those 5 grams, it could be like maybe 5, 6 calories. So if I'm using 15, I might be consuming 10, 15 calories off of this. But yeah, that's not that big of a deal, but just keep that in mind. Another thing, sriracha, same thing. It has 0 calories, but it's for 5 grams. Like I said, I probably use maybe like 10, 15 grams. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna be my meal for the day. If you tuned in from earlier, this is what it looks like. All I have here is pineapple, ground beef, rice, salt. I'm gonna accompany that with my apple. And you may be wondering, well, what are the veggies? Well, the veggies, I eat them with my next meal. Sometimes I do eat it with this one if I'm falling behind on my veggies, but I don't like mixing veggies with pineapple. I don't know. I don't know. I'm in my head about it. I feel like it's a weird combination. But no, I do have a greens powder that I use sometimes at night if I do not eat veggies like at least twice. So I'll eat veggies on my next meal. Like I said, I typically eat it with this meal too, but not a lot. So if I do miss one serving of veggies with this meal, I'll complement it or supplement it with the powder. But anyway, this still has to cool down a little bit. So let me talk to you for a couple minutes. Now, I explained everything that I do as far as tracking my macros, calculating my macros, how I do it. Now it's your turn. Okay, if you really want to change your life, if you really want to get in your best physical shape, you need to control what you're putting in your mouth. You need to know exactly what you're putting in your body. There's no way around outworking a bad diet. So even if you are tracking your macros, even if you are familiarized with tracking your macros, make sure that you're consuming nutritious foods. Do not eat shit food. Yes, you can most definitely eat McDonald's or eat out often and still track your macros, but what good is that if you're not fueling your body the right way? What good is looking good, right, because you're hitting your macros, but feeling like shit because internally you're not giving your body what it needs? Okay, so keep that in mind. Like, there's no bad foods, okay? You can still track your macros. Stay consistent until you reach your goal, until you get to the point where you admire and respect yourself, and then go out of your way to consume other things. Like, it's not like you're just giving it up. It's like you're taking a step back to take 2 steps forward, right? That's what I've done all these years. I've been dieting, I've been coaching, I've been training myself for over a decade, and it's just like, bro, you need to get to where you want to be before you go all out and say, hey, I love food too much, that's why I can't diet. Like, no. I mentioned it earlier. Me, myself, I eat a lot of food. Like, I've come across guys that are 200, 250, almost 300 pounds that eat less food than I do. And it's all taken years of consistency to get to this point. But how are you going to get there if you don't give yourself the chance, if you don't give yourself enough time, if you don't give yourself that opportunity to get there in the first place? Okay, so 1, track your macros, stay consistent. 2, get your workouts in. Get your workouts in. Train hard. Don't just think that because you're going to the gym, you're working hard. Like, no, really push yourself. If you're not talking yourself out of the last couple of reps, you're not going hard enough, bro. And make sure that you're recovering properly. Again, fuel with your food. And also, don't give up, okay? Don't give up. There's a lot of people that get impatient. There's a lot of people that think that they can reverse years and years and years of bad eating with just a couple of months. Like, who the fuck? Yeah, I mean, common sense is not so common anymore, but there's people who think that they can reverse years and years and years of bad habits with just a couple of months, a couple of weeks of discipline. So stick to your goals. Forget about the timeline. Like, there's no rush unless you have like some sort of like wedding or event coming up. I can understand the frustration, and that is your fault for not being ready on time. you need to make sure that you give yourself enough time to get to these things. You know, if you have something special coming up. But if you don't have an end date, or you don't have like a specific thing coming up, it's like, what's the rush? You know, what's the rush? You need to learn how to eat good. You need to learn how to build the habits that are going to get you in shape. You need to learn how to implement those habits for the rest of your life, because once you stop, I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to go back to your old ways. So it's not something that you can just start up and I'm good. No, like, you need to learn between point A and point B to take you to point C, because point C is you holding on to that transformation. Now, it's just the first part that you're like, okay, this is new. I'm getting used to it. I'm kicking ass. I'm going to fucking kill it. I'm going to get to where I want to be. And let's say you get there. Well, now it's everything that you implemented in between point A and point B that built that person that got to point B. But now for that person to still be that person and still get better from that point forward, it's like you need to really take into consideration everything that you learned in between. But if all you did was excessive amounts of cardio and starving yourself, do you really think you can keep that up for the rest of your life just to stay where you're at right now, just because you reached your goal? Like, no. Just because something is working doesn't mean you're doing it right. Right? So I always say, if it's something that you don't see yourself doing for the rest of your life, don't fucking do it. Don't listen to the morons that are telling you to cut out all the carbs just to lose weight if you don't see yourself not eating carbs for the rest of your life. Don't tell people like, you know, hey, I heard this and it's working for me. Like, yeah, it might be working for you. And if they try it and they like it, so be it, you know? But don't try to convince people of doing the things that you don't see yourself doing to hold on to that transformation, because you're going to be harming a lot of people. You're going to be harming a lot of people by giving bad advice simply because it's working. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to keep it up, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt you, and it's going to hurt somebody else who you pass that advice to. And then that person is going to pass it on to somebody else. And it just becomes this fucking shit show, and people just get, you know, people get fucked. All right. That's how I developed an eating disorder. So I'll talk about that some other day. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If it wasn't, I even don't know if Facebook has a thumbs down, but just put an emoji or whatever you want to do. I appreciate you guys for watching. And if you do need help, you know, with this, I do have a free 60-day challenge that you can try on your own. It's absolutely free. I'll put the link in the comments, and access it. You know, make the best of it. All you gotta do is put in the time to learn, and use that knowledge, implement that knowledge to be in shape, to get in shape, and stay in shape for the rest of your life. And if you do want some help with that, I do have my private training app in which I can help you. I start you off with the diet. I calculate your macros. I build a diet for you. And then you have access to all your workouts in the app as well. But don't feel the need to do that. Okay? Do, or at least access the challenge. And if you feel like you do need the extra help, hit me up. Okay? I'm not trying to take your money. I'm just trying to change your life. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.